Hi, everyone. I'm Maggie McGrath, editor of Forbes Women. From turning a personal passion into a nationally recognized brand that has sold more than 300 million cupcakes, our next guest has sweetened countless lives. She is Melissa Ben Ishai, the co-founder and CEO of Baked by Melissa. You might know her from her cupcakes, or like me, you might religiously follow her for her salad recipes on Instagram and TikTok. Melissa, thank you so much for being here.
Thanks for having me.
I just teased at part of where this interview will go, but let's go back to the beginning because Baked by Melissa would not exist. A very happy company, if you will, but would not exist if not for a moment of professional setback. Can you talk about the inspiration and what led to this company?
Well, I was 24 years old working as an assistant media planner at Deutsche Advertising. I was not passionate about the work I was doing, and it showed, so I was fired. At the time, I was baking my tie-dye cupcakes for everyone and anyone. If it was your birthday and I loved you, I baked you tie-dye cupcakes. That is my love language to this day, as you know. So I went to my brother's office from being fired. He said, go home, bake your cupcakes. We'll start a business together. I make it sound like it was like such a quick thing, but I mean, it was pretty quick. But it wasn't easy. I went home and I baked 4 batches of cupcakes and sent them into work with my best friend's little sister the following day. She was interning at a PR agency. The owner of the PR agency tried the cupcakes, loved them, and put me in touch with her caterer.
I think a lot of people associate you with the tie-dye, but I don't think I've ever heard the origin story. Where does the love for tie-dye come from?
Tie-dye represents so many great things. It's colorful. It represents a time in history where there was a revolution. Peace, love, happiness, acceptance. It's beautiful, inclusive. What's not to like?
What's not to like? As someone who bakes very amateurly, I've always wondered about the pans for these cupcakes. So in the early days, like I don't have a baking pan that would create something quite like this. How were you physically making these?
Well, the caterer called me in for a tasting. I made them mini for that tasting. And then he said, oh my God, people freak out over these like cute little bite-sized things. If you could figure out how to make them just a bite, oh my God. I saw that as my challenge. And I left his apartment where we had the tasting and I asked strangers on the street if they knew where baking supply stores were. I didn't know that they exist, but they do. And I found a very temporary solution to make them just a bite.
Interesting. So you talk about it sounds easy. And I've heard you say in other interviews, when we lead with these big numbers like 300 million, it kind of glosses over some of the harder moments. What was one of the harder moments in those earliest days?
There are so many hard moments every single day. Being an entrepreneur is not for the faint of heart. And there are so many different types of entrepreneurs. In those early days, I would say believing in myself, first and foremost. Doing it with my big brother. We founded the company together with 3 others. So Baked by Melissa has 5 co-founders. I can equate it to parenting a child. When you start a business, it's something that you love so dearly and you're passionate about. Learning how to lead that company with others who love it the same way is a challenge at times, but also the most beautiful thing. I was an assistant media planner. So I had never managed anybody before. I didn't believe in myself the way my brother believed in me, and he had the vision of Baked by Melissa before anybody else did.
And did you want to be the face of the brand? You said you had to build that confidence, and it's named after you. How did you come to the naming of the company?
After the tasting was scheduled with the caterer, I ran to my brother's office. Like, oh my God, I just got a tasting with this caterer. Let's go in there like we have a business already and he could be a part of it. And that's when we decided on the name and the logo. My brother insisted it have a personal tie. He said the name of the PR agency was Allison Broad PR. And he said, I wouldn't even know who Allison was if her name wasn't in the name of the business. So I think that was a great point. And we settled on Baked by Melissa, which was like a natural extension of myself at the time. I got to get everyone baked by Melissa. his business partner, our childhood friend, designed the logo while we were having that conversation. And when I saw it, I think I cried because if I were a logo, that would be me. I used to refer to Matt as my brother from another mother. We were all like super close, and he knew me just as well as my brother at the time. So it was perfect.
As you talk about building the company name around you, I'm thinking of an interview you gave earlier this year where you talked about some market research you did many years later. It was 2017. You spent some money to kind of analyze what consumers thought of the brand, and they came back and said, "You're the heart, you're the soul." Can you talk about what that did for you and also then how you marketed the company after getting that market research back?
I want to start by saying that being the face of a brand is a very humbling experience, and there's a lot of weight that comes with it. It's a huge responsibility to be the face of a brand, and I take it very seriously from the very beginning. Everything I do is under a microscope, whether it's within the walls of our office or when I'm in the stores or now when I'm out in public, everybody's watching me. And I was constantly reminded of that in the early days. So I had this really big responsibility and pressure was put on me. And I was told when maybe I didn't do something the way I should have. It was a little whatever at the time, but I kind of learned that responsibility and I saw it as such an incredible opportunity. There's something bigger than me that requires me to be the best version of myself that I could possibly be. Perception versus reality is such an interesting thing to me, especially when you're in business and you're the face of a brand. I wasn't involved in the nitty gritty of like creative and marketing. I was the face of the brand. I was creating the product. And my brother was our CEO for the first 8 years we were in business. And then we hired another CEO so my brother could go on and continue to do what he does best, which is like create. And he also taught me a lot. And he came from a different background. He wanted to do market research, which we did. And it was such an incredible opportunity to learn about our customer, who she is, the value that we provide her with. And at the end of the day, like the market research agency, like they were just like, Melissa is the soul of Baked by Melissa, and like the brand lives within inside of her. And that was a moment. I remember where I was sitting when I heard it, and it gave me a certain amount of confidence, I think, that I didn't have before I heard it.
So was that moment more important for you personally in your professional journey, or did you alter the marketing and the way you interacted on social media after that moment?
I think the perception from the outside looking in was that it's the way it has always been. It's Baked by Melissa. And I think even within the walls of our company, in certain ways, people felt that, but I didn't. Because it takes, I don't know, I'm not like that. It just, like, I don't have an ego. I would never act in a way that something revolves entirely around me. That's weird, or that's not who I am. I guess I should say it's not weird. So hearing that gave me the confidence I needed to act a certain way.
That's interesting.
And to share my thoughts and feedback and ideas more freely.
So perhaps had that research not existed, we would not have the viral green goddess salad moment, do you think?
There were a lot of things that happened over the course of a few years that led to that viral green goddess.
So we come to the portion of the interview where I say I think half of the people watching might know you more for your salad and lunch recipes that you post on social than the cupcakes, which also many people know you for, and rightly so. Can you talk about, was that an intentional decision to do that recipe and to lean into the salad portion? It feels authentic to you. You're often talking about what you eat for lunch. And I think what has drawn me to your videos is it doesn't feel like you're putting on a persona. It feels very natural, but I don't want to assume. So what was your thesis behind that?
It was very intentional. I had made a silent promise to myself that when the next channel of social media comes out, I was going to get on it and learn it myself because I love social media and I am a creator first. or creative, both. My team was creating content for TikTok, and I felt like it could be better, but I couldn't provide actionable feedback. As a way to do so, I got on TikTok. I created my own personal account, Melissa Benishai, and I got to TikToking. I started filming the desserts and the meals I was making at home. It was during COVID. I cook dinner every night because I enjoy it. And dessert, oftentimes. Like I'll like bake something like it's nothing because that's why Bake by Melissa exists. In doing that and posting to learn, I quickly saw that the content I was creating was getting very good engagement and my following was growing. But my job is to lead Baked by Melissa as the CEO. And it felt like if I'm doing something that's working, I should be using it for Baked by Melissa. So I was like chopping a salad and filming it. And I was like, I'm going to post this from Baked by Melissa. What's the worst thing that's going to happen? Nobody will see it. And it has like 40 million views. It was a Mediterranean salad. And I started the voiceover with, "This salad is the reason I married my husband," which is a great hook. And then I immediately saw the opportunity it provided Baked by Melissa with to create a community of people who feel a real connection to me and come to me for something. Recipes. Nobody needs cupcakes every day. Also, like they're amazing. They're the best gift ever. They're the best dessert. They make everybody happy because of a variety of flavors that make you feel like a kid again, and like chocolate, vanilla, cookie dough, like you name it. But it's not, you don't need it the way you need recipes so you can nourish your body and be the best version of yourself. I didn't even realize how much of myself I was sharing because I love food. I have been chopping salads and eating them with chips for just as long as I've been making my tie-dye cupcakes. It was just another piece of me that I was sharing. And I think that on social media, what works is genuine and authentic content. I was truly doing what makes me happy, and people felt a connection to that. And I was giving people what they want.
Right. You also tend to not use measuring cups, which is like the most remarkable thing, watching you eyeball ingredients. I have to say, I think that's what drew me in as someone who has all of her measuring cups off to the side. So it comes off as very passionate.
And like free-spirited. Like
Yes.
It's just fun.
Cooking should be fun.
Exactly.
I think a lot of people grow up with feeling like it's this obligation, and then that adds so many layers of emotion that can make family dinners frustrating. Side note, what do you make on an average weeknight if you're baking?
Yesterday I worked from home. What did I have for lunch? Oh, we had leftover like string beans and broccoli, and I like made this like tofu thing with string beans and broccoli, but then you need something sweet. So I like mashed up a banana and I put a little bit of flour and vanilla. I made a little mug cake in the microwave and ate that. And then for dessert last night, I made chicken, like sheet pan chicken for dinner.
Have you seen your social media create business opportunities for Baked by Melissa? I know you're posting from...
Of course. So that is the opportunity I immediately saw, was to create a community of people that come to me for something, to build real, genuine, and authentic relationships. That was the first order of business. Why? Because there's such value there, but also I'm not one to abuse it, if that makes sense. So yes, this community of people has provided so much opportunity, not only for Baked by Melissa, but also for myself personally. They breathed new life into my company and into me, because now I get to share a whole other part of me that people clearly connect with, but I so genuinely enjoy.
So are you seeing that in the number of cupcakes sold or the cookbook opportunities, or is it more brands approaching you? Because you do some really cool...
It's all of the above. So like I walked in here and I apologized because I had my phone in your face basically, and I said like, I'm filming a day in the life. I'm sorry. They're like, ugh. It is the craziest thing to do, like, because you're always doing two things at once, and and I wake up at 4:00 in the morning. Like I've already done so much today. So I'm filming a day in the life as a way to provide my community with more information about me, which they love, which is just funny, but also as a way to share what goes into being a working mom ahead of Mother's Day. And as a mom on Mother's Day, I have so many thoughts and I have so much to say about so many things. So it's great for everyone. I get to share more. I get to share my point of view on what it's like to be a mom, all the crazy things all of us moms do, because like it's insane and impossible. Share about my product that I sell. That's the perfect gift for the moms in your life and also makes dessert easy if you're entertaining for Mother's Day. It's just like it checks all the boxes for all of us. And I think that's the part of it that I love so much. It's strategic. Like it's smart.
Oh, it's very smart.
Yeah.
I mentioned in that bucket of opportunities that can come, the partnerships. You have some really cool partnerships, including Squishmallows. And did I hear correctly that you are Madison Square Garden's birthday sponsor?
We are.
How do these opportunities come about? Is it you saying, I want to be the birthday sponsor for every birthday that comes on the big screen at MSG? Or is it they're coming to you saying, we love your product?
In that case, Madison Square Garden came to us, which is incredible and very humbling. Like not what you think. It's the opposite. It's like what? Many of the brands we work with come to us. It's a challenge that I give myself to always be thinking about brands that I want to work with because I'm a mom, I'm a CEO, I'm a creator. Like I don't get out much. Like that is what I'm doing. So I'm not like with it. But of course, like my team has lots of ideas and we do outreach as well. I think it's a combination of both. And how amazing is it? These brands that I used to go to see Knicks games in the Garden. I saw my first like Jingle Ball was at MSG. Now I have a kiosk there that sells a product that bears my name. There are no words to say what that feels like, but it's what makes the challenging days worth it because it's very challenging at times.
It can be. Has there been a partnership that's been most crucial in taking your brand to the next level?
You know, it's interesting. The brands are coming to us for our reach. I know that. But I won't work with a brand unless I genuinely love them or value like that mutual respect has to be there. The first thing like every partnership is different because as it should be, right? Each brand has different goals that they're looking to achieve. And my job is to come up with a plan that achieves the goals for both sides. And that's what makes for a successful partnership.
That makes sense. We talked about how you approached being the face of the brand and you called yourself creative first, but you are also now the CEO of the brand. And you've been public about saying that you didn't want the CEO job. How did you come to take that role and grow into that role? What was the growth lever there?
Oh, man. I think I'm a product of the way I respond to the things that happen that are completely out of my control. I guess being fired was maybe more in my control, but I had a CEO after my brother who was amazing and like one of my closest friends. He taught me so much. I appreciated the partnership. I loved being the face of the brand or like the president to like president, CEO. It's like a nice partnership and it puts me in a position to do what I am best at. One day, unfortunately, he could no longer be our CEO anymore, and it happened immediately. And I said to my investor, like, don't worry. Like, I'm a very calm all the time person, and I've been through a lot, like, with this business. We're almost 17 years old. Like, don't worry, everything's going to be okay. And then I got on a board call that evening from my apartment, and my board, like, without thought, they just said, oh, okay, Melissa will be the CEO. And I remember mouthing to my husband, like, And I was like, I was happy. I was excited. I was scared out of my mind. I was so far, I was like propelled outside of my comfort zone. In hindsight, I think I knew what was happening and what it meant for me. And it was like amazing. What an incredible opportunity for me, like to grow personally and professionally. Shame on me for not ever thinking I wanted to or should be the CEO. And I think that's something like for all women to really hear and ask themselves if there's anything they want for themselves that maybe they never considered before because society tells us we shouldn't, or the people we work with who may be mostly male make us feel like we shouldn't. We should.
I was going to say, now that you are CEO, do you wish you had taken that role earlier in the company's life?
No. Some days I like hate my job. I'm like, some days I love it. Some days I love it less, but that's because it's not an easy job to have. And anybody who is the CEO of a business can relate to that. It's lonely. It's challenging. Everything is your fault when it isn't going well. Everything is because of everybody else when it is, as it should be. My job is to listen and seek to understand, which is what makes a good leader, in my opinion. And it's just, I have 2 small kids. I am also creating content to post on social media. So I'm wearing many hats, and I don't know if I'll always be the CEO, and that will be great too. But what a privilege it is.
That's a really healthy perspective. Now, you've mentioned your kids, you've mentioned Mother's Day and having thoughts, and I really hate asking women the balance question because
No.
Well, it's a version of that, which is how do you incorporate your familial identity, your mother identity into your professional life?
Oh, there are no lines. It's all blended. I'm all in everything I do. And how lucky am I to be able to work that way, because I understand how unique it is. But I think that's what the community I've built and my team even, that's what inspires my team. Like the more I can like bring it up and share how I'm feeling, the more it inspires my team when done properly. And the more I can share with the community that I've built, I think the more they feel connection to Baked by Melissa, which is exactly what I want.
You can't be it if you can't see it, so you're being it.
Yeah, I'm really tired. But like I had the thought the other day, like I feel like one day I'm gonna be like, "Ugh," and my kids are gonna be like 18. I'm like, what just happened? Like it's a lot. I'm nonstop, but that's who I am, and I love to be busy. Like I don't want to sit on a couch and relax. Like that's what? Like sometimes I see my husband like laying on the couch and I'm like, "Ugh," like, but I don't want to be doing that. I like to be busy. I love to be going from one thing to the next. My definition of happiness is working hard towards things you love. And that's how I get my fulfillment. And I get to do that for my kids at home and my husband, but I also get to do it for this company that I've built with incredible people, and it's awesome.
Working hard for things you love. So knowing that you're working hard, you don't like to sit still. What's next?
Oh, there are so many things. There are so many things. I'm also not one to speak about, I'm not one to say what I'm going to do. I like to show you.
Okay. Because I usually say, if we were to speak in a year, what would you like to tell the Forbes audience that you have accomplished in that year?
I can't tell you that.
You can't tell me that.
But we're working on, this is so annoying. I hate to do this, but we are working on some really exciting projects. And I could not be more proud of what we have built and the direction we are heading, and the team, my team. It's true. See, like this, my team is incredible. And I've spent a lot of my time and energy building it, and we're there.
Okay, so you can't tell me what's next. Can you do some rapid fire about cupcakes? Can you tell me what is your favorite flavor on this tray?
In this assortment, it's blondie, and then this one is cookie butter brownie. Ugh, it's so good. And then s'mores is one of the OG flavors.
But what's your favorite? Okay, so then
blondie.
Blondie
Blondie came first. I like to pick the blondie piece off and eat it Actually, the first one I'll eat, it's like 9 a.m. Otherwise, I also like don't eat breakfast. And the first thing, I'm crazy.
Do you start every day with a cupcake?
No way. I can't. It's sugar. You need to, what I was going to say is I'm very thoughtful about I love food. I'm thinking about food all the time. What I'm having for lunch, I actually don't know yet, but it will be delicious. That will be the first thing I eat. It will probably be in the 11 o'clock hour because I get hungry because I've been up for so long. And then I will eat cupcakes. And I do eat cupcakes almost every single day.
How many cupcakes do you eat in a week?
Oh, man, it's not good. Many. It depends. It depends what I'm doing. Today I'm filming a day in the life, and I also want to speak to this Mother's Day assortment we have leading up to Mother's Day. It's the best gift. You could ship it anywhere in the United States. It's also an easy dessert to give you peace of mind because even though you're a mom and it's your day, you're still the one who's responsible for making everybody happy because that's what moms do. We're the makers of magic.
What's the food that you want to eat on Mother's Day, you personally?
Oh my God, I don't know. I never know what I want. I'm focused on what everybody else wants. Truly.
Spoken like a founder, CEO, and a mother, Melissa Benishai, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me.